Well, hello, and welcome to Spring 2019 Honors Capstone class. This is HP 202, CRN number 5371. And what we're doing today is we are introducing what is the Capstone course and where will you find the materials that are required to actually undertake this. And at this point in time, what I want to do is I want to introduce the some general overview of what the expectations are before we get into the details of, what you're going to be doing. And well, this is you at the beginning of the semester. You're like, okay, I'm at the beginning of my semester and I have an idea of what I want to do as a research project, right? Notice I said it's a research project, but a research project generally in the sense that what we want you to do now is we want you to synthesize information from all of the fields that you've taken since you've been here. Okay, and for some of you in the honors program, that's 2 years. So that's 2 years worth of courses, right? TYRS. Okay, and what we want you to do is we want you to be selective, because what we know happens is that we come up with this idea that you guys are going to do research projects, and those research projects are going to be capstone projects, and capstone projects on the whole tend to instigate this desire to go solve all of the world's problems. And instead what you need to do is you need to understand where capstone projects come from. So capstone projects come from this force, or this desire from within engineering programs to prove that by the time somebody finishes a program, they can actually build something. B-U-I-L-D, right? And you've got this idea inside Science 114. That's why you take Science 114. By the end, you either take something apart or you have to build something. By the end of your 2 years here, you've had enough classes so that you can take a topic. And that topic, what we want you to be able to do is literally in the span of this next, so if today is the beginning of the semester and you're aiming for the beginning of April to finish this, the topic you should be able to both take apart, and then build. And with the building piece, what I want you to do is focus on the word synthesis. S-Y-N, right? S-Y-N. And that's because as you've gone through each of these classes, there's going to be a subset that have actually spoken with you, right? Or spoken to you, they're going to form what you're going to do with the rest of your lives, or at least some piece of your lives. And in this couple of minutes, what I want you to start doing is thinking to yourself, oh, okay, I know I've spoken with some of my friends about what I'd like to do for an honors topic, or I just want to get this thing over and done with. So what do I need to actually do? Well, what we're looking for is a project that, imagine if you will, so let's just call it Project A. And Project A may have some piece of a discipline that you enjoyed. I don't know why that's not writing right now. Interesting. Let's go back here. Sorry about the technical difficulties there. So you've had some sort of topic that, you enjoyed. Let's call it, say, psychology. And then maybe you did a sociology piece. Right, and maybe you did, you did, Science 114, right? So maybe some technology in there somewhere along the way. And what we want you to do is we want you to take apart the topic through the lens of each of these things, but make the topic sufficiently small that you can cover, say, psychology of X, or in this case, psychology of A, or the sociology of A, or the technology that's used to understand A, or look at A, or however the way you want to phrase it inside your mind so that both you and your advisor are on the same page. And at the end of the day, if that's the T piece to this, right, if this is the T piece, taking things apart, ultimately what we want you to be able to do is now build a new understanding. To make sure you get that, let's just change the color over here like this. Okay, and now what you're going to do is you're going to actually literally build something new, and that's what we mean by the synthesis of this. So I'm going to put this down to a fine point. All of that comes to a fine point where you've actually built some synthesis of your topic initially. What do you add to the story is what you want to be thinking about. And it doesn't have to be a rewriting of the discipline. It doesn't have to be, some major contribution. And I'm saying this not because I don't think you can add a major contribution to any of the disciplines and or topics. I'm saying it because what you want to do is you want to make sure that the enormity of the question that you're asking is within your ability and skill set to execute. Does that make sense? Okay, so now that we have hopefully a general idea, let's go back again and just reinforce what I've been saying. Change colors one more time. Let's go here. Wham. Okay, so here's you at the beginning. I'm going to ask, and when we speak with one another, you go to the course content inside this Blackboard structure, and you're going to see there's only one folder here, and that one folder says materials. So you're going to go inside the folder, and you're going to look what's inside there, and you're going to see that there's a syllabus, SYLB, YLB. Okay. You're also going to see that there's an agreement. That's what the A stands for. And then you're going to see I actually give you, we went and stole this from someplace because we need you to understand that what we're asking you to do is what every other student in a capstone course is being asked to do. Okay, some of them do them as sophomores. Most of them do them as seniors in their 4-year or 5-year programs. So we have the expectation that if we give you the infrastructure, what you will do is simply take all of this and put it into that infrastructure. So that's going to be the template, T-E-M-P. And if you're wondering why this is taking me so long, I'm doing all of this with my left hand. Okay? Cool. So now we've put this whole story together for you. You're going to come here, you're going to look inside the materials, and you're going to go, okay, I can go look at the syllabus, and we'll take a look at the agreement, and we're going to take a look at the template itself. So why don't we pause and open that up for you, and then we will start again. So here we have opened up the folder, and you can see here is that capstone syllabus, here is the capstone agreement, and here's the capstone thesis outline. You're going to click into each of these. You're going to find out what's going on inside of them. So what I'll do is I'll just simply tell you that the syllabus itself, represents what we think, because there are many different projects that are being undertaken here. We gave you what we think is the most general set of instructions that provide enough direction for you so you understand what you're doing and what the expectations are, and enough freedom so you feel like you can go off and do what you need to do to demonstrate to us that you have the ability to execute this project. The one thing that I want to introduce that's inside this syllabus, though, is that you're going to be using ePortfolio. Okay, and the purpose of ePortfolio, ePort, is that you actually capture along the way, imagine if you will, you're doing a time series analysis of the steps that it took to actually get from the beginning, let's go beginning, to your final project. And your final project, remember, for this is both a presentation, you aim again for the beginning of April, and also the actual written thesis itself. Okay? There we go. Okay? So you're going to literally record this along the way, and by recording it, it's going to be sort of like, here are the different stages, put the notes in there so that, imagine if you will, during an interview or when you have to go back and do this again, you can go take a look at what you're doing and what you've done so that you can just repeat this wherever you end up next. Meaning, let's imagine you go to another college, somebody says, hey, you want to go do a capstone project? You're just like, yeah, I'm so all over that. You just go back and you look inside your ePortfolio. Okay? This actually has an added benefit for you in that this is portable with you. Okay, this will travel with you so that, when push comes to shove and, you're looking at graduation at another institution, you can demonstrate to people that you actually have all of these skills. Okay? The next piece up here is the agreement. And the agreement is you're going to sit down with your advisor, whoever that advisor is, and for a good number of you, it's actually going to be me. Okay, ADV. And we're going to sit down and we're going to look at a timeline. Okay, and we're going to look at the incremental forward movement of making sure you get to that presentation and that thesis. Okay? Obviously, the presentation is going to want to be done before the thesis, but if you could do it in any order you want to do, knock yourself out. Maybe for some people, they want to get this thesis thing done so they can just put the presentation together. We can talk about that, but it's a signed agreement. We both agree to a series of requirements as we're going along. I'm going to make sure that, you're paying attention to making sure you hit your time marks, and you're going to pay attention to making sure you show up to meetings on time and you show up prepared. And if you know you can't show up prepared, explain ahead of time why you can't show up prepared. When you open up this thesis outline, don't be overwhelmed by it. It is a pre-modified document that has all of the pagination and it has all of the indentations and requirements to make this look like a real thesis, like you're doing something else with it. And my advice is just simply cut and paste into it. Okay, so there's nothing to this one. This is for both the T's here. By the time you finish all of your writing, it's going to be inside this piece. So if I'm you, I'm thinking to myself that as I'm going along on my ePortfolio, each piece as I'm going along becomes a piece that actually gets dumped right into the thesis. Okay, and each one of these pieces could also be, let's make a dashed line here, right? Could also then be modified to a piece of your presentation. In figure 1, we see that the general question is this, and these are the reasons why I think it's a good question. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at it through the lens of psychology, sociology, and technology moving forward. Okay, so keep it that simple. You're going to do a little bit of a literature or history review for each of these things, each of these topics, and then you're going to say, here's where I see that they intersect. This is what I think is important about it. Okay? So I've gone about a minute and a half over where I wanted to go, but I think this is a really good introduction to you. It's not overwhelming. Hopefully you have a pretty good idea of what we're looking for here. Again, I want you to go into this folder and I want you to see that each of the general pieces are here for you. You want to take a look at them before you schedule your first meeting with whomever your advisor is. In fact, I'm going to ask that all of you speak with me first, okay? And then if we're farming you out to somebody else in the department or somebody else in the school, or you want to work with somebody else who's not even on campus, okay? We're all on the same page and they understand what our expectations are. Okay, enough of that for now. I know I promised this thing about a week ago. That's just how busy life is these days. And so when you guys say you're busy, I sympathize and I empathize. But remember, we still have things we have to get done. Okay? If you have any questions, don't be afraid to email me. I'm going to go put this up in our folder, and I'm going to put an attention or a notification to you guys as soon as it's up there. Have a wonderful day, and thank you very much for your attention.